Under the File menu, there are a number of other features that will assist you. We've looked at Preferences and PrintQuote Pro Setup. We can also back up the data file. This will then back up all the relevant files other than the actual application, so that we can replace them at any time that there is an issue or problem with our hard drives. We can also change data file. This facility will be used whenever you want to connect or set up for multi-user. You'll move your data to a server and you'll need to select this to actually connect to the data on the server. Access is where we change from one user to another user if we are using access passwords to start up and use PrintQuote Pro. Clicking on Modify Access adds users. If there are no users at all, you'll be first asked to create an administrator with administrator privileges. There always has to be an administrator with administrator privileges, otherwise you could be partially locked out of PrintQuote Pro and never be able to get in as an administrator and change things. We have the facility to produce quick reports. We're given the default date range, but we can change that to anything we wish. We have reports for quotes by company, salesperson and status, costs by company, salesperson and status, jobs by company, salesperson and status, and job costs by company, salesperson and status. We can preview those, print them directly, or export them to disk as text or some other formats. We can also print a stock report, a complete list of stock that we currently have in the database. We can also manage keywords. The keyword manager will display all the keywords we have. Here we have 208. We can choose to select only the client ones, which is 18, quotes, which is 141, and jobs is 49. Here we can search for keywords simply by typing in the criteria. So any keyword with the criteria in its title will be displayed. We can delete keywords, we can delete unused keywords, and we can unlink a keyword from all records. We can modify keywords by selecting one and clicking on Modify or double clicking on it. We can add the date and time to keywords, and we can create new keywords. We can export records to disk to be imported into another installation of PrintQuote Pro. These records are in PrintQuote Pro's own internal format, so they won't be any good to take into any other type of program. But it's so that if you have two installations of PrintQuote Pro that are using different data files, say you have one on a laptop at home you wish to create quotes on and then email them to the office so you can get home early and do a few after dinner or something. Some printers find this is really helpful because usually during the day they haven't got time, if they're a sole proprietor or a small business, to be doing quotes during the day. They're very busy following up jobs and supervising jobs, so they leave their quoting till after work, and after work they're sitting there for hours doing quotes while their family's home having dinner, and they're missing their children and their wife. And so quite often printers will want to take it home, do their quotes after they've had dinner and put the kids to bed, and then they can sit down and do a few quotes and then email them to the office, or put them on a USB and synchronize them with the office installation of PrintQuote Pro the next day. But all the relevant files, we need the same preferences, the same email sender accounts, mobile numbers, letters, possibly clients, production items, product, codes, finishing equipment, presses, sheet sizes, stock, not so much campaigns, but we need tax rates, and we probably don't need users and privileges in that. But it's so that all the main preferences for creating quotes are available in the installation they have at home. And or it could be that they have an installation that a salesperson takes out and he can do quotes in the field on the spot with a client and discuss it and do the sale, do the quote, and then email it back to the office. And the import records is to import those exported records into an installation of PrintQuote Pro. We have a job schedule report, which gives a breakdown of all jobs based on their process in the printery. And we also have a chart. The chart report is a replication of the job schedule window that can be put on another screen in the printery. We can send SMS messages to and from employees, and also we can type in an SMS there if it's someone that isn't in our list of mobile numbers, and we can send an SMS out there. We can also view a list of all the SMS messages that have been sent to date and resend them or view them. We can also select Update PrintQuote Pro, which will check the server and download any upgrades for PrintQuote Pro. And we also have PrintQuote Pro websites. The link to the home page, a link to the forum, which you were emailed a username and password when you downloaded PrintQuote Pro, and also a link to Clickertel's SMS Gateway API details, so you can look at the service they offer if you wish to do SMS using PrintQuote Pro. Also, when we have an output screen open, we have some additional items on the file menu. We still have quick reports, but this time it will relate to the clients, so we'll have very similar to those on the main screen. We can create custom reports. Custom reports opens a report generator that we can create reports in for clients. We also have on disk, when you install PrintQuote Pro, a list of templates that you can use with the custom report feature. There's also a help file in the folder when PrintQuote Pro is installed. You can just double click on that and open that, which gives you a lot of details on how to use the custom report generator. Also, we can manage keywords, all the same features, with the addition of 3 extra buttons. We can select selections of records by their keyword. We can add keywords, add records that have a certain keyword to the current selection, or we can omit them from the current selection. So we can build selections of records based on the keywords. This can be particularly helpful when you're doing marketing campaigns and wish to remove certain clients, add certain clients by their keyword to a list of records to send out a campaign to. We can also apply keywords. So we can choose a keyword or create a new keyword and then apply it to the current selection of records. We can save clients and export them to disk, and that can be used for later importing back into another installation of PrintQuote Pro. And the open clients is for opening that file. This is in PrintQuote Pro internal format, so there's no use to any other program other than installations of PrintQuote Pro. Collect unsubscribers. If we've used an unsubscribe link in an email campaign, then we can select the account we used and interrogate that email account and select all the people that received that email and clicked on the unsubscribe tag at the bottom and sent the unsubscribe email return. So then we can find them and then make a keyword for them or a set and leave them out of any future campaigns that they don't want to be in. We can print a client list. We can also open the label generator and print client labels. And create labels. And again, send SMS messages as well as review existing SMS messages. And our QuotePrint Pro websites feature to view the websites. On the selection menu of PrintQuote Pro, when we have the client's output layout open, we have many of the features of the buttons on the bottom of the layout: all records, use selection, omit selection, delete selection. We have invert selection, which takes a selection and finds all the records in the file that aren't in that selection and displays those. Sort and search, the same as the buttons. And we have the addition of save record set, open record set, add record set, and omit record set. A record set is a small text file that contains the unique sequence numbers of each record. So they are saved in a little file, and then all those records can be retrieved by opening that file. We can also add sets together by opening the files and adding them, or omitting a set of sequence numbers from the current selection by opening the set. Create clients the same as the button, modify client the same. We can here create delivery address and postal address to a group of records. We can change the case of the suburbs, some mailing labels and some postal services give preference to uppercase suburbs. We can format phone, fax and mobile numbers to a group of records at once. We can update an action for a group of records. We can make a selection of records inactive or make a selection of records active. And we can clear the import info field. Whenever records are imported, we have the option of putting some information in the field so we can identify the records, and we can clear that information using this command on the menu. On the quotes output layout, we again have quick reports, create custom reports, manage keywords, apply keywords. All of those are the same as they were in clients. We can save quotes and open quotes. So we can save quotes to manually transport by saving on a USB stick or something like that, and then take them to another installation and open them. Or we can retrieve ones that are emailed from one installation of PrintQuote Pro to another. We can print out a list of quotes, again send SMS messages while we're in this screen, or view PrintQuote Pro websites. On the selection menu, we have all the features that we have on the buttons, with the exception of invert selection, which finds all the records that aren't in the current selection. And we also have a save set. We can save the sequence number of each record in a file, which is a very small text file, and we can use that to reopen the records at a later date. Because it's a unique number, we can find those records. We don't have to export all the records and import them. We just save the record sequence number, and then we can open the record set of sequence numbers and make them the current selection. We can also add sets together, and we can omit sets from sets. The others: create new quote, modify quote, same as the buttons. Create postal address and create delivery address are the same as the buttons on the input layout, but they just do it to a group of records instead. Plus we can update a group of records status if we wish. On the jobs output layout, we have the same as we do for the other two files, clients and quotes. We can export jobs though as a text file, so that the information can be brought into a program like Excel. We can print a job list. We can print the production details, which is a printout of all the production details, including all the log entries that have been created by the employees as the job progressed through the printery. Or the job schedule report, or the job schedule chart. And we can also print labels to the clients that are linked to these jobs, as well as send SMS messages and view the SMS messages that have been sent. The selection menu is exactly the same as the quotes selection menu. On the letters output list, print a list of letters, send SMS messages and view the messages sent. The selection menu is the same, without any special features. Similarly for campaigns, we can print a list, send SMS messages, and the same as we've already covered under the other output layouts.